All right, all right. Happy Thursday, everybody. Big waves out there. Good to see everybody. Man, Coach, I tell you, they came on this morning smiling, smiling.
Good. Sorry
Anybody?
I was late.
No. I tell you this, when you lead with a smile, it just like, uh, for somebody like myself, looking back at you, it's amazing what it does for your energy and for your emotional level. So remember that as we go out into the world. Um, so the word for today, I actually came up with the word, and then, I had to put my steel toe boots on because my toes was getting, they were getting bloody and hurt by the word. And so the word for today is perfectionism. Perfectionism. Okay. Now, Coach has got some outstanding things to say about it. And crazy enough, like I came up with some things last night, and me and her was dead on the same topic and word for word wrote some of the same things down. So this morning, when she sent me hers, I had to change mine a little bit because I'm like, wow, we got the same thing. But I want to read something. This is a great read right here. 100 verses and prayers for successful leaders. If you've never had that book or never read that, it's one of those good daily type reads. But the chains of perfectionism, okay? The chains of perfectionism. Expectations, and let me start by saying this. Think about yourself, okay? This is not a good or a bad. This is just truly one of those things where I want you to think about you. Chains of perfectionism. Expectations. The media delivers an endless stream of messages that tell you how to look, how to behave, and how to dress. The media's expectations are impossible to meet. God's are not. God doesn't expect perfection, and neither should you. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay to strive for great things, but understand there's only been one perfect person in the world. I'm going to give you a leadership tip. There's no such thing as a perfect leader. So if you're caught up in the modern day push towards perfection, grow up. And then lighten up on yourself. We're all human. We're all striving to be more. We're all striving to help more. We're all striving to just be the best we can be in this world, but it's okay. You're never going to be perfect. I'm never going to be perfect. We got to lighten up on ourselves. When you look at perfectionism, the definition says it's the refusal to accept any standard short of perfection. What causes perfectionism? It's often a learned behavior. People with perfectionism believe that they're valuable only because of what they achieve or what they do for other people. I'm going to let Coach right now go in, and then I'm going to close it, Coach, if it's okay with you. But I want her, we had some things that really lined up in talking about perfectionism. And understand that I can point to myself in a lot of these things. And so, but I want you to look at it from your perspective. Coach, I'm going to kind of turn it to you.
Okay. Yeah, I'm starting with myself. And I think just kind of look at it like he said from just as we say these things, because it really was eye-opening, So here's what we need to understand about perfectionism. Bad perfectionism is when people constantly worry about making mistakes, letting others down, and not measuring up to our own impossibly high standards. Does that sound familiar? This can lead to depression, anxiety, fatigue, and even an early death. It's crazy, but it's true. You know, we never want this. But here's good perfection: insisting that we always give our best. The act is considered professional, positive. You know, in a nutshell, we should always set high personal standards and work toward our goals in a proactive manner. Now, here are some things that you need to let sink in right now. You need to learn to say no more. Trust that everything will get done. Take breaks with family. Remember that time off is not time wasted. And that was one I really struggle with. But make yourself. Self-care has to become a priority. You know, perfectionism is considered, it's a personality trait where one strives for flawlessness. Perfectionists are often insecure and anxious about falling short of their own standards. And as a result, constantly live in fear of private shame and public humiliation. Now, I read a study at Walden University, and here are 7 signs that you're too much of a perfectionist. Number 1, you're a perfectionist in all things. You think that everything has to be perfect. Number 2, you are an all or nothing person. Now, I have an opinion on that one because I think we can go into situations with that mindset. But I think what separates us from being a over-the-top perfectionism person and being realistic is that if we don't go into situations where we're giving our all or nothing, maybe we're not getting the best of ourselves. So that was kind of just something I felt. You crave approval. We all want to please, but we're not pizza. We're not chocolate chip cookies. If you want to please everybody, that's what you got to be. Feedback. When people give us feedback sometimes, it makes us very defensive. Again, these are signs that we're perfectionists or we're too much of it. Highly critical of others. Always remember that simple thing. Every time you're pointing your finger at somebody, look at yourself. There's 3 pointing back at me. You're a big procrastinator. I think that's what shocked me the most of that. When I think of perfectionism, I don't think of procrastinating, but that was one of the things in this study. And the last one is you're full of guilt. And I think we're all probably hit on some of those. And I think that, again, just shows that we're human. But I think we work really hard to strive to do the best we can be every day. So go back to you, Coach. Let you wrap this up for the day.
Coach, I loved it. I actually love studying this word, perfectionism. But Coach mentioned procrastination. And I want to really go on to that real quick, because think about yourself. And I was just like you, Coach. Perfectionism, I went procrastination. But if you really think about it, what happens if you don't feel like you can be perfect? Sometimes you just go, I don't want to even attempt it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even want to start it. My mentor told me one time, he said, to do this business, big boy, you got to learn ready, shoot, aim. And he said, you too big about being perfect. He said, sometimes you got to get in there and just wade through it. And you got to have that ready, shoot, aim mentality a little bit to go and attack something that's all just discombobulated. And that's always stuck with me. But sometimes procrastination occurs for perfectionism because they can't be perfect. So they just say, you know what? I'm immobilized.
Mhm.
I fail to do anything because I can't be perfect. I mean, you don't have to raise your hand. I know I've been there. I've been there many a times. So here's in closing. Here's where I want to go today. Coach. Okay. In closing, raise your hand if you've seen yourself in one of these things that Coach says. I know I have. Here's the beauty of this. If you see some of these perfectionist traits in yourself, don't worry. Like don't like beat yourself up today. It's okay. But take the area that you see you struggle with and take a little time to study things that can help. Okay? Because at the end of the day, to be the most successful leader, to be the leader we all want to be the person of influence, to be the person that goes out and affects other people's lives, we've also got to have an inner peace with ourselves. We've got to have that inner peace. And so to get that inner peace, look at one of those traits you're struggling with and go out and find things that can help you overcome so that you can create the inner peace you need to go be a better version of yourself. That's what I'm going to do. Okay. So thanks for being on here today. Have a great Thursday. We have a special guest coming to you tomorrow that you're absolutely going to love.
You're going to love him.
He's going to gleam. He's going to smile. And he's going to come with you. And here's the topic tomorrow. I want you to think about this. Just be you. Don't be anybody else. Just be you. That's the topic for tomorrow. So, love you guys. Grateful for you. Have a great Thursday.
Love y'all. Hey, Rick, tell your son to have a happy birthday.